Good morning. It's Friday. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's the 17th of January. It is cold. We're seeing snow and a lot of problems on the roads.
A lot of problems. Anywhere north of the 401, we've got a lot more snow than south of the 401. We've got problems on the QE. We've got several problems on the 401 out through the east end. We've got problems in the west end. So we'll update all of those coming up. But it's going to be slick in a number of areas. We've got about 4 centimeters, possibly 5 up in Georgetown.
Well, here's a look at why we're having all these problems. The snow, like Tom was mentioning, 4 to 5 centimeters there is north of the 401. Even down towards Georgetown and Milton probably got hit a little harder than some areas down towards the lakeshore. We're still seeing some heavier bursts of snow mixed in with this kind of unsettled, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, mess, I suppose. System, we just have those heavier bursts. There's snow throughout the day today. Closer to the lake, we're looking at 3 to 4 centimeters. And as you were mentioning, areas north of 401, closer to 5. So a little tricky underfoot and underwheeled.
That's right. Kevin's up in Sault Ste. Marie, is he?
Yes, he is.
Up in the Sault. He'll be right in the middle of winter.
I bet you he's in a hot tub.
Maybe.
We'll talk about the long-range forecast and something really interesting. I know, no one's going to like it, but see, I'm opening the door and I'm actually just going to step right back in the freezer because that's exactly what's happening next week. Tom?
Boy, that's great news. Sarah Carr's going to know that it's the long range now with Emily.
All right, I'm just going to skip to the fun stuff. We're going to see some light snow over the weekend. Could be a bit of a hassle for your Monday morning commute. But the real big story is going to be this cold next week, feeling like the mid-minus 20s.
This weather segment.
Good morning. It's Friday. It is the 17th of January. And say goodbye to the winter mission. Act 1 is over. Act 2 is going to start. And Act 2 is going to try and outdo Act 1.
I want a bigger intermission.
I stole all of that from our briefing meteorologist, by the way.
I don't want Act 2, yeah. I don't want Act 2.
It's on its way. It's coming, whether we like it or not, Tom.
Cold.
I'm sorry. I know we have a lot of issues on the roads today. You're going to have all those details.
Lots.
This is why. Snow. And it's just like this much. It's an itty-bitty, bitty-bitty bit. We're looking at anywhere from 3 to, say, 6 centimeters.
Well, that's not itty-bitty bit.
Well, it's no 30.
It's not 30.
It's not 30.
But it's enough to cause some havoc.
It's enough to cause a lot of havoc.
That's right.
Roads are slick. It's going to be blowing around a little bit, so it's just going to be a slushy mess. I know when I came in on the QE, I came in at 4 o'clock in the morning, so there's not a lot of traffic at that time.
Right.
But still, very slick conditions, especially in like the fast lane and the HOV lane. Snow covered.
Yeah, it's the same coming down from Georgetown. I got about 4 to 5 centimeters up there, and it's pretty slick.
All right, well, into the long range, that's the good news. You're right. It is going to be a mess when it comes to our temperatures. Major accidents, and you can see that minivan is pretty much right underneath that transport truck. Please, 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 please give yourself extra travel time this morning and just take it easy on the roads because you do not want that to be you. We'll talk about the return to the deep freeze in just a moment, but first, here's Tom with traffic.
Yeah.
Burr is right. We cool down over the weekend. We're going to feel like the minus double digits with more snow on the way for Sunday into your Monday morning commute. But the real cool down is going to be next week when we're seeing temperatures around minus 17, feeling like minus 26 when you factor in the wind chill. Prairie blizzards. Wall of white shuts down traffic on both sides of the border. Before you complain about the snow you have to brush off your car this morning, take a look at this. For the prairies, Thursday was one of those go nowhere fast kind of days. For most of us, anything above 0 in January is a pleasant relief from the winter chill. But in Miami, all of Florida was under January. All right, your long-range forecast is coming up, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Hi there. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. It is the 17th of January, and winter has made a comeback. I'm Emily Vukovic, and your drive this morning is going to be a little bit of a slick one. Tons of issues already on the roads. Tom's going to be updating us in just a few moments. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see heavier bursts within this system moving through the lower Great Lakes. In total, it is not going to be incredibly significant amounts, but it's going to be enough to make roads really slick this morning. A lot of slush. Temperatures are seasonal. We're hovering around the freezing mark right now. We are seeing about 3 to 6 centimeters anywhere along the lakeshore, areas further north than that. So north of the 401, we're seeing closer to 5, 6, 7 centimeters. And then up towards the Nickel Belt, we're in the 6 to 10 centimeter range. This is a big story for today, but the really big story that's coming up in our long range forecast is going to be our temperatures and how we are actually going to return to the Arctic deep freeze. I know, I'm not happy about it either. Okay, so this morning we have got cool temperatures, but certainly not cold. When we start to see these purples come in, those are the cold temperatures. That is all that Arctic air pushing its way south. We've got a big ridge in the jet stream to the west. If you've got travel plans to Calgary, through Edmonton, even in through parts of BC, it's balmy, it's warm, you could barbecue in shorts this weekend. But for us, not so much. Temperatures are going to be dropping dramatically, and this is heading all the way down through the United States, and this could have not only a big hit on their economy, all the way down towards Florida, but it's going to have people wishing they lived somewhere else. I know, you think, what? It's usually a lot warmer in Florida. Well, not the case getting us into next week. We're going to feel wind chills into the -20s. We'll talk more about snowfall. We'll check in with Kevin in just a moment, but first, here's Tom with traffic. The way down towards Florida, so it is going to be incredibly cold. We're talking wind chills into the mid-20s again. I know, and this pattern is expected to last until, well, February. So we'll talk more about that coming up. We've got Kevin Yard. He is in Sault Ste. Marie. We're going to be checking in with him. And Kevin, I don't know, you are a lucky man. You were sitting by a fire earlier. What are you up to now? Good morning. It's Friday. It is January.
Got to get that in.
Yeah, you do every Friday.
Friday, yeah.
January the 17th, we're kind of past the mid-month, but we're not through winter yet. We've had snow. We've got the cold Arctic air returning.
Oh, yeah.
By next week, Tom, it's going to feel like the mid-20s.
I have just want to wear my parka again. I really do.
You love it.
I love wearing my
Love it.
parka. I love that, freezing cold air just blowing on my face.
You know what I really love? I love it when it's so cold that your nose hairs freeze together.
Oh, that's good.
Or when you have tears running down your face and they freeze.
Little icicles, hanging off your face. It's so attractive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at the snow. It is causing some slippery road conditions, isn't it, this morning?
It is.
Well, temperatures are hovering around the freezing mark, so cold enough for this to be straight snow. Side streets are probably more of an issue than the highways right now, because I know a lot of people are starting to travel, getting rid of the snow and then just leaving kind of wet roads behind them.
Yeah, it's going to be a little slick. I mean, right now, Chatham-Kent was just tweeting out the police down there saying it's pretty icy and blowing snow, and now through Sarnia into London, KW, so there's still lots of blowing snow out there.
Snowfall forecast looks like this. It's going to feel cold on exposed skin, so hats, gloves, scarves, essential, that kind of thing. We'll get into the Arctic deep freeze that we have to look forward to next week in just a few moments, but first, here's Tom with a look at traffic.
No.
Well, as Tom was mentioning, you want to be careful on the roads, and this is why. We've got that snow right now. In some areas, we're seeing kind of heavier bursts, but for the most part, it is fairly light. Snowfall forecasts, we're looking at about 3 to 6 centimeters total throughout much of the GTA. Areas further north, we're looking at 6 to 10. Now, I'm seeing something in my preview screen that is making me green with envy. Kevin Yard is joining us in Sault Ste. Marie this morning, and I thought that he was going to be skiing and doing all sorts of winter activity. He's sitting in a hot tub. Kevin, all you need is a cocktail to make your life perfect right about now. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is the 17th of January. We are just over halfway point of the month, and winter has made a comeback. Yes, we enjoyed that winter mission, but now we've got snow. It's not incredibly heavy snow. It is enough to make your morning commute a slick one. We've got kind of heavier bursts, especially up towards the Barrie area. Anywhere along the shores of Georgian Bay, we're kind of setting up a little bit more lake effect. Now, accumulations, 3 to 6 centimeters, not an incredible amount of snow, but just enough to be a nuisance. It's going to be blowing around a little bit as well. Down towards the lake, we're looking closer to 3 to 4 centimeters. Areas north of the 401, more like 5 to 6, and then areas up towards the Nickel Belt, that's where we're going to see more significant, like 10 centimeter snow. I want to talk about this for a minute because temperatures are a really big story right now. We have been on that roller coaster, up and down, up and down. We saw beautiful daytime highs getting above the freezing mark, well above seasonal for last week, and now we're going to cool back down again starting tomorrow. Today, we're seasonal. Tomorrow, we cool back down, wind chills into the minus double digits. By next week, Arctic air filters right down towards Florida. We're going to be stuck right in the middle of this. And by next Wednesday, we've got wind chills feeling like the minus 20s again. Yes, I know. So you're going to want to stay tuned to the Weather Network to find out that. temperature trend and how long it's going to last. Right now we're going to go to Kevin. He's in Sault Ste. Marie, loving life right now in a hot tub. Kevin, you poor thing. It's 6:45 in the morning and you're in a hot tub. All right, thanks, Kevin. Yeah, we definitely don't want to miss that. Light snow right now throughout much of the GTA, causing roads to be a little wet, a little slick, as Tom was mentioning. 3 to 6 centimeters is going to be kind of our ballpark for today and into tomorrow. Keep in mind areas further north looking closer to 6 to 10. Now, one of our big stories is going to be the temperatures that are dropping significantly. We were in the deep freeze and then we rose to above seasonal. Now we're going back into the freezer. We've got Arctic air filtering in, not so much for today. Today we stay seasonal, but for the weekend it's going to feel closer to the minus teens. Monday into Tuesday and then into Wednesday, that is when that polar air starts to really filter in through the lower Great Lakes. And all the way down south, we're talking all the way down to Florida. Not great for the economy in the U.S., these cold temperatures. We are going to be seeing a little bit of sunshine next week. I'll show you that in our long range. So here we go. We've got -5 for tomorrow, -3 for Sunday. Now, we do have a clipper coming in on Sunday, giving us some light snow. That could affect your Monday morning commute. Keep that in mind this weekend when you're, making your lunches and getting your stuff together and ready for Monday morning. Here's the polar air coming through. By Tuesday, we're looking at -23, and then by Wednesday, it is going to feel like -20 when you factor in the wind chill. Bursts of snow. That's right. That's what we're seeing throughout much of the GTA this morning. It's making our roads a little slick. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. We have got lots going on this morning, including Kevin Yard sitting in a hot tub in Sault Ste. Marie. I know, I'm jealous too. All right, well, let's take a look at the snow that we've got falling right now. It's kind of coming in through bursts, just like I said. So up north around Cottage Country, and great for the resorts, seeing some decent amounts of snow. Down towards the lower Great Lakes, we are seeing flurries here and there, and it's exactly how it sounds. It's coming in little bursts. So you might see absolutely nothing for half of your commute, and then be in a little bit of snow for the next half. 3 to 6 centimeters is what we're looking at widespread throughout the GTA. We're looking at 6 to 10 centimeters areas further north. Big story right now is our temperatures. It is cold. Not today and not even really tomorrow, but by next week, yeah, temperatures are going to be dropping significantly. We're going to be looking at another Arctic air mass moving through. So really dropping our temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday, feeling more like the -20s when you factor in the wind. Not ideal conditions for being outside, but today we are seasonal. Kevin Yard is joining us in Sault Ste. Marie. He is just about to strap on a pair of skis. Kevin, I want to know, is the mascot going to ski with you? Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Weather Network. It's Friday. It's the 17th of January, and I don't know what bet I lost. All of a sudden, I am outside our Oakville studios. It is cold, it is dark, and it is lightly snowing. I know you're probably thinking, well, Kevin normally does this. Well, he's in Sault Ste. Marie, indulging in hot tubs and ski slopes, and we'll check in with Kevin in just a few moments. It's actually not that bad out here. I know I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to the cold, but I'm embracing it. We've seen some light snow over the overnight, and love the colds. And I know, Tom, that next week you are really excited about these cold temperatures.
Wait, Emily, and seeing the size of the guys that had to drag her out kicking and screaming outside. Big guys. Right now, if you're heading out onto the highways, well, we got some problems both in the east and the west. Let's start.
Force of Nature is brought to you by New Folgers.
Hi there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It's the 17th of January, and I'm outside. I know. Don't adjust your sets. I have not morphed into Kevin Yard. He's joining us from Sault Ste. Marie today. I'm the lucky one that gets to spend this glorious morning outside in the breeze. It's -1, feeling closer to -5 when you factor in the wind, and we do have some light snow on the ground. It's been kind of plaguing us through the overnight and into today. We are going to see possibly 3 to 4 centimeters closer to the lakeshore, and then areas a little bit further north, we're looking closer to 5 to 6 centimeters. You know, it's actually not that bad, and you know me. You know that I'm not a huge fan of cold temperatures. You know that I'm really trying to embrace winter this year. I don't know if I'm doing a great job. Today is actually not that bad compared to what we're going to be feeling next week. It is going to be really cold. We've got our temperatures dropping back down into the -teens, feeling closer to the -20s when you factor in the wind chill. All that Arctic air is going to come flooding in through southern Ontario and even go as far south as Florida. I know. So you're thinking, I'm going to escape the cold. I'm going to go down south. Yeah, you're still going to be cold there. They've been seeing temperatures close to the freezing mark through the overnight. They've been wearing scarves and gloves. I know, just like us. Poor them. All right, we're going to check in with Kevin. He is in Sault Ste. Marie this morning. And Kevin, what do you think? How am I doing at your job? Hey, it's the 17th of January. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Network. I totally lost the coin toss. If you're asking, what? Why is Emily outside? Yeah, I lost the coin toss. It was supposed to be Tom, but he's like, no, I can't handle the winter. I can't handle the cold. So I took one for the team, and here I am. It's a little chilly. It's -1, feeling closer to -5 through Oakville, but it's not that bad. It is going to get worse, and I'll show you that coming up. First, we'll take a look at the radar, and we can see kind of bursts of heavier snow here and there throughout the GTA. Snow, so not an incredible amount, but just enough to be a bit of a nuisance. If you've got travel plans this weekend, making the roads a little slippery, we've got a new clipper coming in on Sunday, giving us some snow overnight and into Monday. And then the temperatures drop dramatically. We are going to see a huge shift. We have had roller coaster temperatures these last 2 weeks, really. We went from that polar vortex cold Arctic air to well above seasonal for the weekend. And then we've been steady, and now we're going to drop back down again. By next week, we are actually going to feel temperatures closer to the -20s. So this weekend, minus double digits. It's what it's going to feel like with the wind chill. We're going to see a little bit of snow Sunday into Monday. And then later on in the week, we're talking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's when we're really going to feel the chill again. And I tell you what, Tom, if there is another debate of who's going outside, it is not going to be me. It is going to be Kevin. And we're going to check in with Kevin right now. He's in Sault Ste. Marie. And Kevin, how are the conditions for skiing?
And the show.
Of January, I totally lost the bet. It was between Tom and myself, and well, here we have it. I've lost. I'm standing outside our Oakville studios. It's cool. It's -1, feeling closer to -5 when you factor in the wind. We've got light snow on the ground through the overnight and in through this morning. We saw a clipper kind of push its way through southern Ontario and giving us kind of fresh bursts of snow. But by the time it gets to us, it really starts to weaken. And then we just see light snow. Winds, well, they've been okay. It's cool. I mean, I'm chilly. You can see my hair is kind of blowing in the breeze. Heavier bursts of snow here and there. Big story right now is not only the snow, but temperatures. We're going back into the Arctic freeze. I know you're thinking, what? I thought we were finished with that. No, it's coming back. Winter is making a comeback. And the second act wants to outdo the first. Is it going to? Well, we've got temperatures feeling closer to the -teens over the weekend. And by next week, the winds are going to make it feel closer to the -20s yet again. We are going to be seeing some light snow in this forecast as well. So winter, I think it's here to stay. It's never going to go away. I know that makes Tom really happy. And by the way, Tom, I will take the $50 you offered me to come outside today.
Yeah, right. $50, sure. Yeah, I'll pay you. Just to lock the doors, by the way. All right.
Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday. It is January the 17th. I'm Emily Vukovic. I know you probably can't tell because I have my hood up this time. I thought I'd change it up a little bit. Plus, I've been standing out here for a little while, so I'm starting to get a little cold. It's -1, feeling more like -5 when you factor in the winds through Oakville. We've got some light snow on the ground. We saw a clipper move in through southern Ontario last night and into this morning, being a little bit of a nuisance for commuters, people trying to get around by foot and people trying to get around on the highways. And Tom's going to have all your traffic details coming up in just a few moments. Looking at the radar, we've had little sharp bursts of snow here. Now for the 7-day forecast, we're going to see a series of clippers moving in through the GTA. We're going to see one Sunday overnight and into Monday. That's going to give us a little bit more snow, and then we see our temperatures nosedive. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Kevin Yard. Yes, Kevin, I'm doing your job today, and it's cold. Every single day that I say I'm jealous of you, I'm not anymore. But I am today because I know you're having a really good time at Searchmount Resort in Sault Ste. Marie. What are you up to now? Bursts Lots of snow through the GTA. We have seen flurries through the overnight and into your early morning commute, causing a bit of a nuisance on the roadways. Thanks so much for joining us on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 17th of January. We're more than halfway through the month, and you're starting to think, oh, good. Spring must be just around the corner. Yeah, not quite. We still have about 60 days left until the first day of spring, and we've got more cold on the way, just like last week. Remember when it was all Arctic and frigid throughout the GTA? Yeah, those same temperatures are coming our way for the middle of next week. First, let's talk about the snow. Now, we are going to be seeing temperatures drop dramatically over the weekend and then into the middle of next week. Now, over the weekend, we're looking at temperature values into the minus single digits, but feeling like the minus double digits when you factor in the wind. By the middle of next week, we are going to be feeling temperature values closer to the minus 20s. That's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So all that Arctic air we felt before, well, that polar Arctic air is coming back. And this is a pattern that could continue into February. I know you don't like me anymore for saying that, but that's really the case. All right, we're going to check in with Kevin Yard. He is joining us live, and that's why I'm outside, by the way. Kevin Yard is joining us live from Sault Ste. Marie. And Kevin, you've been having such a good time this morning. What's your favorite activity so far?
just trying to warm her up here. She's been outside for the last half hour or so.
Half hour? Tom, I was out there for like an hour and a half.
Really?
No.
Well,
I was
anyway,
out there for like an hour.
it's a little chilly outside, but not terrible.
No, actually, it really isn't that bad. It's the wind that makes it feel kind of cool. It's kind of when it hits your face. I had tears coming down. I don't know if you can see them on the air, but I was crying. I had to fix my makeup.
Yeah, I know. I saw them.
You
Yeah,
did?
freezing to your face. Yes,
Yeah.
I saw you crying out there. Yeah, Kevin's been crying too.
Whatever. Kevin's having the best time of his life in Sault Ste. Marie. Okay, here's a look at the radar. You can see heavier bursts of snow coming around cottage country and
Yeah, absolutely. It was a little slick. It seems to be getting a little wetter now on the roads.
yeah, which is, I mean, better than snow covered,
Yes,
right?
yes.
A big temperature change is coming our way.
Oh.
I know, Tom. Embrace it. Come on. I was
I'm
just
gonna
outside
embrace it.
loving every minute
yes,
of that.
I'm going to love it. I'm going to be up north on Wednesday, and it's going to be minus 20.
It's going to feel like minus 20. Right? And it's going to feel closer to the minus 20s. Now, if you're thinking, well, you know what, that's just winter and we just have to deal with it. Let's get out, throw on the skis, get the snowboard ready. We're doing it. Snow on the ground, this is what it looks like. 30 plus centimeters, Barrie and north up towards northern Ontario where Kevin is in Sault Ste. Marie, 30 plus centimeters. And if you've been watching us this morning, you have noticed what an awesome time Kevin is having. Winter comfort tips. To stay warm in these types of conditions, you want to wear comfortable and versatile clothing. So cold on exposed skin and hat and gloves, essential. Or if you're like me, wear a full-length parka. I was pretty much wrapped in a duvet and I was still kind of cold. So that just gives you my threshold. What's yours? All right, I'm going to turn things over to Tom. He's got an update on traffic.
Emily's threshold is plus 20. Anything below plus 20?
Parka.
She's parka. Right now, if you're heading out...
Well, temperatures are going to feel closer to the minus double digits over the weekend. We do have another clipper system coming in Sunday overnight and into Monday, giving us some light snow for our Monday morning commute. But the real significant cool down comes by the beginning to middle of next week. Temperatures back into the minus teens. It is going to feel closer to the minus 20s, but at least we're going to be seeing a tiny bit of sunshine. Hamilton over the weekend, light snow Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday morning. So just be cautious of that. Maybe give yourself extra time to start the week. Okay. Been a bit slippery on the roads. Tom's going to have all those details coming up in just a few moments. Looking at the radar, you can see snow showers tracking through Barrie. We've seen some heavier snow bursts down towards the shores of Huron and up towards Georgian Bay. Toronto, we've picked up a few centimeters of snow. All in all, we're looking at about 3 to 6 centimeters. The closer you are to the lake, about 3 centimeters, maybe even 4. Closer you are to the 401 and north of that, that's where we're seeing 4 or 5 centimeters. And up towards the Nickel Belt, 6 to 10. Now, this is going to last throughout the day today and into tomorrow. So it's just going to be flurries, isolated flurries, short little bursts of heavy snow. So when you're driving, be a little cautious. Give yourself some extra time this morning. Temperatures are going to be cooling down dramatically. Remember that whole Arctic air mass that we saw last week? It's back. It's returning. Tom's thrilled. We're going to talk to him in a minute about it. You can see the purples, that's what we don't like to see. That's the really, really cold air. So this weekend, we're going to be cooling down. We're going to feel closer to the minus double digits. By next week, this cold air literally just floods right through southern Ontario, all the way down to Florida. It is going to feel, I mean, they're not going to feel this cold, but we're going to feel closer to the -20s when you factor in the wind chill Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we start to get closer to seasonal values by the end of the week. If you still love winter activities and you're thinking, well, it's just something that we have to deal with at this time of year, and you like to ski and snowboard and go tobogganing and all that fun stuff, snowpack, we're looking at 30 plus centimeters to the north, and even in through northern Ontario, 30 plus centimeters on the ground. Now with this, you want to try your best to stay warm. So winter comfort tips. You want to wear comfortable and versatile clothing, perfect for outdoor activities. It's going to feel cold on exposed skin, I know, because I spent half the morning outside today and my cheeks were still kind of cold. Hat and gloves essential for these types of conditions. Now, we have been lucky enough to watch Kevin Yard and Sault Ste. Marie this morning. And Tom, I know that you're jealous. You wanted to be in the hot tub, didn't you?
With Kevin? No.
Or not?
No, I didn't.
All right, well, it is going to be cold. We're looking at minus double digits is what it's going to feel like over the weekend. Clipper moving in Sunday into Monday. Could be making your Monday morning commute a slick one. I've been bragging about these cold temperatures, and here they are. We're looking at minus teens by the beginning of next week, feeling more like the minus 20s when you factor in the wind. So winter, it is certainly here to stay, and this pattern continuing right into February.
Go to the Weather Network.
Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is January the 17th. I'm Emily Vukovic. We've been dealing with some light snow through the overnight and through your morning commute, making roads a little slick. Tom's going to have all those details on some major delays coming up in just a few moments. Looking at the radar, you can see heavier bursts of snow up towards the shore of Georgian Bay, down towards the Sarnia area as well. Off of Lake Huron, we're seeing a little bit more snow. In total, we're looking at anywhere between 3 to 6 centimeters of snow, and this is going to travel through today and into tomorrow. Areas further north, 6 to 10, so around the Nickel Belt area. Closer to the lake shore, we're looking at about 3 to 4 centimeters, and that area is just north of the 401. That's where we're kind of seeing that 5 to 6 centimeter range. Now, temperatures are going to start to cool down over the weekend, and I want to show you this because this is a big story. Temperatures are going to get very cold for the beginning of next week. It is going to feel closer to minus double digits over the weekend, so as soon as you start to see these purple colors filter in through southern Ontario, you know that's the real cold stuff. So by Tuesday and into Wednesday, it is actually going to feel closer to the minus 20s when you factor in the wind chill. And unfortunately, for those of us that aren't huge fans of the cold, this pattern looks as though it's going to continue right into February. So what a winter it has been. Temperatures are going to stay very, very cool. It has been lovely for winter activities, and Kevin Yard, he's paired up with Ontario Travel, and every Friday we send him off to a different winter location. And today he is in Sault Ste. Marie having the time of his life. He's been skiing, he's been, snowmobiling, and he's been sitting in a hot tub. I don't know, Kevin, today is probably one of the best days you've had so far this year. Well, temperatures over the weekend are going to be minus single digits, so close to seasonal, but feeling like the minus double digits when you factor in the wind. We have another clipper system coming in Sunday overnight into Monday, and that is going to be giving us some light snow, so give yourself extra time Monday morning. The big cool down comes at the beginning of next week. We're talking Tuesday, Wednesday. It is actually going to feel closer to the mid-minus 20s when you factor in the wind chill. Hi there. Thank you for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is January the 17th, and it is cold. It's not as cold as it's going to be, and I've got all those details coming up in your long-range forecast. We've been dealing with a little bit of snow throughout the overnight and early morning, causing it to be a bit of a snarl for our morning commute. We've been talking about 2 to possibly 5 centimeters of snow on the ground closer to the lake shore, but areas further north looking closer to 6 centimeters. And it's just going to be kind of bursts of heavy snow and flurries and scattered flurries throughout the day today and into tomorrow. Up towards the Nickel Belt, we're looking at about 6 to 10 centimeters of snow. Now, if you are going to be out and about, you want to keep yourself warm. Here are some winter comfort tips for these types of conditions. Now, when temperatures start to get colder, as they will by this weekend, we're actually going to feel closer to the minus double digits. See this purple? That's the Arctic air filtering in. It's going to feel much cooler by next week, and the cold actually stretches all the way down through Florida. By next week, it is actually going to feel like the minus 20s. Say hello to more Arctic air. Winter, it's not finished with us yet. If you do like winter and you enjoy winter activities, skiing, snowboarding, this is how much snow's on the ground. We're looking at about 30 plus centimeters through Barrie and areas further north. All right, it is time now to take a look at your top 5 videos, the coldest countries on Earth. Clipper moving through southern Ontario. We'll continue to see some flurries throughout the day today. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. Temperatures are going to cool down over the weekend, and by next week we are back into the Arctic deep freeze, and I'll talk more about that coming up in your long range. We have been envious watching Kevin Yard this morning. He is paired up with Ontario Travel, and every Friday during the winter months he is going to be heading to a different winter location. And today he's at Searchmount Resort in Sault Ste. Marie. And Kevin, so far I've seen you in a hot tub, I have seen you on skis, I have seen you on a snowmobile. What are you up to now? So much fun. Thanks so much, Kevin. Glad the weather has been very cooperative for you these last few days. All right, we are expected to see a little bit more snow throughout the day today. Total snowfall amounts, we're looking at about 3 to 6 centimeters. So not incredible amounts, but enough to make your drive a little slippery through the morning hours and then through the afternoon. The big cold story is on the way. We've got temperatures this weekend feeling more like the minus double digits. And then by the middle of next week, we're talking Tuesday into Wednesday, all that Arctic air starts to sink south, feeling like the minus 20s. An unscheduled day off coming up from Fargo to Winnipeg, going nowhere fast.